let's go from this to this. So this section of my lawn has always been just covered in moss. It's always been very patchy, and it's because you can see with the fence here and the fence here, just the way that the sun hits it, this shadow right here doesn't allow any grass to grow, and it's very mossy. So I have another bed on the other side of the yard over here that it used to be full shade and now it's full sun because a bunch of trees got cut down. So we are going to move some plants that we had over there over here that are shaded plants, and they're hostas, and I'm just going to make this into a mulch bed. So let's talk about how to make a mulch bed. Essentially you need a couple tools. You could basically just use a flathead shovel like this one. I'm going to use an edger and a flathead shovel, and I'll show you how both of those kind of go together here in just a second. But essentially, I'm just going to make an edge, a mark, all along this shadowed line here, and then we'll go from there. If you're making a bigger mulch bed, you can lay out, you can spray paint, you know, what you need for the border. I don't really need to do that because I can see exactly where the dirt and the moss is that I don't want anymore, and it's basically just going to be kind of a half moon shape here, and so we'll go do that right now. So basically you just want to start and just get as flat close to this as possible, and this is a nice one. I like this edger because it has the foot rest on there that you can really put pressure on, but essentially just make your marks. So I've hit some, I think I hit the concrete here for the pole, but this doesn't have to be perfect, but I would get it, you know, a little back and forth. The ground's still kind of cold. Just do this all the way around. As you can see, we've got our line here. It's pretty nice, pretty smooth, and that goes about, I don't know, 3-4 inches deep, something like that. Some would say that's about average. Some would say it's just right. Next thing we need to do is take our shovel. You can use a regular shovel if you want. I think it's easier with a flathead shovel if you have access to that, but if you don't, a regular shovel is just fine. And what we're gonna do is just dig probably about 3-4 inches behind this line, and I'll show you that in a second, but we're gonna come at a pretty steep angle, and what that'll do is allow the mulch to now have a lip to fall into, and that it's not going to come out every time it rains or the wind blows or something like that, and you're always mowing over the top of it and chopping up your mulch. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So essentially we just want to go 3-4 inches back, just come in kind of at an angle until you hit that line, and you're going to get something that looks like that. That's perfect. So then that mulch can just fall right down in this spot here, and you've got this lip, and you could bring that mulch almost all the way up to the lip here, and it'll still stay in place. So we're going to go ahead and do that all the way across and get our mulch bed set up here. So you can see here that we've got, I've got people screaming in Spanish over there. Perfect. So you can see here we've got, yeah, this is fairly deep. You know, it's almost all the way to my knuckle there, all the way across. I just went through and kind of cleaned it up, all the excess dirt that was kind of piled up in there. And then, yeah, so that'll allow a nice little spot for that mulch to fall right down in there. So what I'm going to do next is come over here in this bed here, and I'm going to take some of the plants out of here and just move them over. They are hostas, so you can pretty much destroy those things, and they live anywhere except for full sun. They'll get burned up in the summer. So let me show you what I've got here. So you can kind of see right here, they're poking through a little bit to the ground. There's some about every 2 or 3 feet over here. Out of the picture there. So we'll move some of these, not all of these. They're pretty large, but I got to get these out of here so I can plant grass in this bed here. About 19 hours later, finally got all those plants moved. So here's what they look like. Not pretty, but we're about to cover this up with some mulch. So there's obviously a plant there. There's a big one back there, and there's one right there. These are pretty big, so they'll spread out. But you can see that's kind of just super simple bed. But I'm going to drop these 2 mulch bags in there. Should cover that pretty nicely. If not, I can just get another bag. All right, so we'll just spread this out now, and you'll see really how easily this mulch just kind of falls right down into this groove here and fills up that whole area. Doesn't get in the yard, creates a nice little pocket for that mulch to just fall right down in there and look super clean. Some of you may be thinking that I need to kill this grass that's under here, but honestly, there's really no sunshine that gets on this for maybe only an hour or 2 a day max. So I don't think that grass is going to pop back through. If it does, I can just zap it, especially with this mulch covering it. I think it'll choke it out. But you can see pretty clean little mulch bed. Didn't take too long, and these hostas should pop right through here if it ever stays warm. I'm here in southern Indiana, and we're in our second winter right now, I think is what we call it. We had springtime, now we're in our second winter. So hopefully this will protect these a little bit, and we're good to go. That's gonna wrap it up, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.